Hello and welcome to our Nigerian viewers and viewers across the world. This is Newsroom series, and today we shift our attention to Nigeria's southeast region. I am Kelly Egiga here in Lagos. Let's bring you up to speed with our major stories this hour before we head to the region. All seems set for the elective National Convention of the People's Democratic Party in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, as the party is insisting that the scheduled event is sacrosanct. Governors of the platform of the party who emerged from a late-night meeting held in the nation's capital, Abuja, on Thursday, with critical stakeholders to appraise recent developments surrounding the planned convention and maintaining that there is no going back. The meeting, which held at the Bauchi State Governor's Lodge, had in attendance the governors of Adamawa, Oyo and Bauchi states, alongside members of the Damagun-led National Working Committee and the Board of Trustees of the party. The planned convention is billed to hold tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, amidst a myriad of controversies, including conflicting court rulings and judgment, as well as the lack of a consensus among members of the party on critical issues.
Just come out of a critical stakeholders meeting where a lot of elaborate decisions were taken. And I want to tell you here that we're going to Ibadan to go for our convention. And the convention is sacrosanct.
From the opposition party to the ruling All Progressives Congress in Taraba State, which has announced the defection of Governor Agbo Kefas from the ruling People's Democratic Party in the state, who has now joined the All Progressives Congress. Well, this was disclosed by the publicity secretary of the party and a stakeholder shortly after some closed-door meetings convened by the governor. According to the party, the defection of the governor to the APC means that there is no active opposition in Taraba State again, even as they insist there were no conditions set for the governor to join the APC. Away from party politics, the joint health sector unions has been meeting behind closed doors to decide on their next course of action regarding the indefinite nationwide strike. And this meeting we hear comes after a series of deadlines and threatened strikes by Juhesu, citing the government's failure to fulfill key agreements. In attendance, the Coalition of Health Workers Unions in Nigeria, comprising organizations such as the Medical and Health Workers Union of Nigeria, among other institutions. Meanwhile, the union has issued a 15-day ultimatum to the federal government, threatening to commence an indefinite strike from today if their demands are not met. Juhesu says it has been negotiating with the government for years, but the issues remain unresolved. The union expressed frustration over the government's delay in fulfilling key agreements, including the MOU signed on October 29 in 2024. All right, so let's get to head now to the southeast region. With his second term inauguration not due for some months, Governor Chukwuma Soludo says he is not slowing down on the execution of projects and policies in order to meet deadlines. The 2026 budget proposal is now the focus as the executive arm of the state races to present the budget before the Anambra State House of Assembly.
It is the first week of work after the governorship election in Anambra State, and having secured another 4 years in office, the administration of Governor Chukwuma Soludo is setting things in motion to ensure continuity. With barely 2 months till the end of the year, focus shifts from politicking to governance, and attention is now on the 2026 spending plans. The Chief of Staff to the Governor, Mr. Ernest Ezeajuagi, confirms that the proposal is being fast-tracked ahead of the presentation to the State House of Assembly.
I've already have some piles of file to pop down to his office to start. But I think essentially the key thing that I know is his priority now will be to finish up with the midterm expenditure framework, the MTEF, because the budget for the year 2026 is actually, the clock is ticking.
Just like previous budgets, large chunks of the proposal will prioritize health, education, technology, security, road infrastructure, and the activation of the new smart cities.
When we mentioned it before, we said Onitsha 2.0, but that's the Greater Niger City, the Oka 2.0, the AMIC, Anambra Mixed-Use Industrial City. These three, among others, will actually take a whole lot of attention. We've started a whole lot of breakthroughs on road infrastructure, dualization in particular, because you cannot do all these things with transport gridlock. No way. Other priorities, other dualization that I've mentioned, we also follow. And if when we get this, I can bet you the city, that prosperous homeland, the city we're dreaming of, will be built.
Other issues the government hopes to address in the coming days is insecurity. The latest issue being tackled is the murder of a councillor at Owerri Ezukala in the aftermath of the just concluded elections.
We are aware that politicians tried to ruin the peaceful atmosphere in Anambra State. So many talks were imported into Anambra State by some political elements, okay? But thank God, as I said earlier, the Inspector General of Police and all the security forces in Anambra State were equal to the task. And we were there giving intelligence, playing at the background, giving them information and intel they require to nip most of these things in the bud.
And with the influx of sons and daughters of Anambra State expected soon, the governor's latest plans on security will begin to take effect from the Yuletide season.
Other aspects of government may wait till after his inauguration, but I can tell you for free that he has already started that of the security, the homeland security, the organization. We are moving from what we have now, which is what we call the manual security, where you have more of human interventions. We are moving over to technology-driven security in Anambra State. Equally, we are moving from reactive security to proactive security, where we have to nip things in the bud, where we have to get information and handle things before even they try to happen.
The acceleration mantra to move from Gear 3 to 4 has commenced as Governor Soludo, after the 22nd Anambra State Executive Council meeting of 2025, approved the establishment of 30 brand new public schools in communities without such schools.
From Anambra, let's take you to Imo State, where commissioners of youth from the 25 APC governed states under the aegis of the Progressives Youth Commissioners Forum are pledging to mobilize and deliver 12 million votes for the re-election bid of President Bola Tinubu in 2027. This commitment emerged from the forum's quarterly strategic meeting held in Owerri, the Imo State capital in southeast Nigeria. According to the forum, the youth component and transformation framework of President Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda have, over the past 2 years, made significant impacts on young Nigerians, particularly in agriculture, youth development, education, health infrastructure, and digital innovation. Our correspondent Eyitokpe Kuti reports.
Youth commissioners from the 25 APC-controlled states gather in Owerri, the Imo State capital, for their quarterly strategic meeting. The event is designed to strengthen policy coordination, deepen collaboration between the federal and state governments, and accelerate youth empowerment programs in line with President Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda. Declaring it open on behalf of the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, Governor Hope Uzodinma, the Director General of the PGF, Folorunso Aluko, urges members to remain focused, committed, and result-driven in advancing the Renewed Hope agenda of President Tinubu's administration.
The deliberations of this meeting must therefore yield actionable frameworks, policies that are clear, collaborative, and impactful, policies that give the Nigerian youth not only hope, but ownership of the future. And so, with deep appreciation to your commitment and with confidence in your collective resolve to deliver a stronger, more inclusive, more progressive youth policy frameworks for Nigeria, I, distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma, CON, Governor of Imo State and Chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, hereby declare open the PGF quarterly meeting of Honorable Commissioners of Youth and Sport Development of APC states. Thank you.
The Imo State Commissioner for Youth and Talent, Emeka Mandela, commends the forum for its steadfast commitment to the progressive ideals of the APC. He emphasizes that the PGF remains a critical platform for promoting good governance, driving youth empowerment, and advancing the objectives of the Renewed Hope agenda. Mr. Mandela also applauds the Uzodinma administration for its contributions to youth development.
I wish to inform everybody in Imo State, Nigeria, diaspora, that today the Honorable Commissioners of Youth for the Progressive Governor States have declared that His Excellency, distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma, is now going to be recognized around the world as a pan-Nigerian youth governor. Today, I want to take the singular honor to welcome you as you've come from all parts of Nigeria, the northeast, the northwest, the south-south, the southwest, and the northwest, to the eastern heartland, the rising Imo, now known as the land of hope, because of the numerous infrastructural developments that the governor has brought during his 5 years administration and counting.
Other participants at the summit share their perspectives.
Thank God to Mr. President for his initiative. Part of the New Hope agenda of Mr. President, he has come up with numerous youth life-changing programs that are really yielding result, and at the same time, our progressive governors at the state level, sub-nationals, are doing well in terms of coordinating activities among youth to see that Nigerian youth have the enabling environment to grow and achieve. This is part of that we have to come together to see how we can have a deliberate and intentional programs that are going to change the lives of Nigerian youth across APC control state.
At the close of the second day, the forum presents a communique reaffirming its resolutions, including a pledge to mobilize and support President Bola Tinubu's re-election bid with 12 million votes in 2027.
The progressive governors are the architects of subnational transformation and nation builders whose reforms are reshaping youth development, education, healthcare, agriculture, infrastructure, and digital governance across Nigeria. Hence, our resolve to launch Project 12 Million Votes for APC and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu come 2027 general elections.
As the forum concludes its deliberations in Owerri, its unified stance underscores a renewed commitment to youth development and national progress, with a collective pledge to strengthen collaboration, drive impactful programs, and rally unprecedented youth support for the Tinubu-led administration. Eyitope Kuteyi, Channels Television News.
In a remarkable display of compassion, justice reforms, and visionary leadership, the Ebonyi State government, under the leadership of Governor Francis Nwufuru, has taken a historic step towards transforming the lives of hundreds of inmates and reshaping the justice landscape of the states. The Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Ben Odo, disclosed this and that a total of 328 inmates have regained freedom under the ongoing prison decongestion program since the inception of the present administration. He says the Ministry of Justice, recognizing the urgent need to restore hope and dignity, has now launched a holistic decongestion initiative focused on legal redress, financial assistance, and restorative justice.
The total number of inmates that have been released by this government to decongest the prison or the correctional center is 328 inmates. These 328 inmates were released different occasions. In Afikpo, we had 51 fighters from Ecoleda crisis. They were also granted amnesty by this administration under the governor. And when they were granted amnesty, there was also a de-radicalization program for them. And then they were also empowered for business startup by the state government. Now we have 51 of the inmates that were granted this amnesty. 51 of them were fighters of the Ecoleda crisis. Then 159 from the Ezefium, combatants. Then this administration, the Ministry of Justice, in collaboration with the Office of Our Excellency, took a thought to see the people that have a conditional sentence with option of fine or imprisonment, and there were 109 of them that had option of fine or imprisonment, and these fines were paid. The 109 of them were released and empowered for a business startup.
We turn our attention now to Enugu State, where the government there is offering opportunities for indigents of the states at the undergraduate, postgraduate and teacher education levels to further their education pursuits with new scholarship awards. The scheme we hear approved by the governor of that state, Mr. Peter Anambra, is being administered by the Enugu State Scholarship and Education Loans Board under the Ministry of Education. According to statements issued in Enugu by the Commissioner for Education, Professor Ndubwezemba, the state government has opened 1,600 scholarship slots comprising 500 undergraduate scholarships, 1,000 scholarships for teachers, and 100 postgraduate scholarships for masters and PhD applicants in Nigerian institutions for the 2025 academic calendar. The Commissioner says the teachers' scholarship is specifically targeted at indigenous teachers in Enugu State government schools who wish to pursue master's degrees and are willing to serve in the state's education system for 10 years after completing their studies. And to qualify, applicants must be confirmed indigents of Enugu State and must possess a valid admission into an approved program for the 2025 and 2026 academic session. Residents of Isiala Aro Autonomous Community in Osisioma local government area of Abia State are raising fresh concerns over what they are describing as the forceful acquisition of their ancestral land for the state's proposed smart city project. And the community, made up of 3 villages, staged a peaceful protest alleging that the ongoing land takeover is displacing families without adequate consultation or proper compensation. And that's why they're calling on Governor Alex Otti to intervene, insisting that the process must reflect fairness, transparency, and justice.
Indigents of Umuawafo, Umuokereke, and Umuogu villages in Abia State staged a peaceful protest, carrying green leaves and chanting solidarity songs in an appeal to the government for dialogue over the acquisition of the ancestral land for the state's smart city project. They allege that families are being displaced without proper consultation or adequate compensation.
My appeal to the governor, which is what all of my clients are also appealing, is this. If the government has acquired their land, which the government has the right to acquire, my client should be notified and be invited to discuss what compensation they are entitled to, because they bought this land, they registered them at the land registry and pay the fees, all the fees they were asked to pay, which run into millions of naira. But in the alternative, if the government insists they must take the land, then our clients be invited and discussions be held between our clients and the government as to compensation that is due to them.
Head of the community, Apollos Ofomba, also condemns the alleged deployment of security personnel to restrict residents from gaining access to their land, insisting that the community holds valid documents to prove ownership.
We have been hearing only on radio and seeing them with Operation Crush in our land, threatening our lives, coming here by 8 p.m. to serve people documents and force them to sign a document that they don't know what belongs. Threatening to arrest everyone they see here. That is not how government acquire lands. And I want us to understand actually that Land Use Act does not guarantee a government to acquire land and give to a private investor. The Land Use Decree said no. If government want to acquire a land, they acquire the land for the purpose of public use. We are praying the governor to please consider that we have given Abia State a land, and this is the only one remaining for us. Therefore, we pray him to pardon and then have a shift to another place. We know that he will oblige to our plea.
Following the protest, government representatives led by the Special Assistant to Governor on Lands, Mr. Okoro Ugoaji, meet with stakeholders at the community hall. He assures them that verified landowners will receive proper compensation, emphasizing the administration's commitment to due process in the execution of the Smart City project.
So many people that are saying that Abia people are come to grab land, this is not a government of land grabbers at all. For every land that is acquired in Abia State, compensation is always paid. Go and verify. So for this acquisition, I know that many people are afraid. They are saying, who knows whether government will take our land without giving us anything. Government will pay adequate, that is, they will pay total compensation for any plot of land, for any grass, anything that is acquired for this smart city.
As development progresses, the community says it's not against the government's quest for infrastructural development. It's fighting for a balance of infrastructural growth with the citizens' rights so the people don't lose out completely.
And finally on the program, everyone, the acting Vice Chancellor of Anambra University, Awka, Professor Carol Arinze Umobi, has provided life-changing projects in the 3 campuses of the university to cater to the welfare of staff and students of the institution, officially commissioning the projects for use in Aguru, Mbaku and Awka campuses. Professor Arinze Umobi notes that each of the projects means a lot to the university community, and any decision not taken to execute them will bring the welfare of staff and students down. And with that story, we conclude Newsroom series this hour. Thanks indeed for watching. On behalf of the production team and everyone here, I am Kelly Egiga. I'll see you again. Bye now.